Okay, so yes, XRP is back at inflection, and I do think that it has a lot of power from where we are. I'm not going to lie to you. Sure, it can go a little bit lower. Anything can go a little bit lower. Once it's cheap, it could always be cheaper, right? But there are some aspects over Bitcoin dominance that are making me a little nervous right now, and I'd like to talk to you about it. But before we get started, please do me the favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. My name is Arca. I'm coming at you here on sunny Sunday, 5:59 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday, October 5th, and we're looking at spot price action here on XRP, 296.40. And yeah, so I mean, we've marked off these targets here before. We're no strangers to where we are right now, right? So let's go ahead and just kind of display them here. So this is the area where we kind of looked at yesterday for a bounce, and the area where we looked at yesterday for an upside, right? So we were able to get that during our master's course, and now we're back at around those levels. So is it that we can react like this and like this for these potential upsides? Well, that's all going to depend on something here, because, Bitcoin's been ripping and ripping and ripping. And how is it that we can get to a resistance, or how is it that we can figure out some type of, let me just show you. Check this out. We're going to go over to this chart. And this is your dominance chart. This is your Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, it's interesting to see this chart because we've been, for the most part, the altcoins usually suffer with the upside of dominance. So that means that the dominating factor of crypto would be usually BTC in this case. Now, mind you, XRP has also been confluent, or it has also rhymed with the upsides on dominance recently. But right now, XRP is actually feeling like it's inverse. So meaning that as dominance goes up, it actually feels like XRP is officially inverted itself back to its regular state. The regular state is fine for XRP to be in because that's typically any altcoin, right? So dominance would be, dominance downside would be inverse the altcoin upside, and inversely so, right? But XRP is kind of like it's kind of like it's a combination of both. It's interesting the way that works. It's really cool. So I decided to run a test. So let's go ahead and visit this screen over here and take a look at what's called the correlation coefficient. And now this is a correlation coefficient that is based around Bitcoin dominance, right? You can see it right over here, BTC.D. And we want to know the relationship between spot price action XRP and the correlating index here. So if that's so, then we are presently sitting at minus 0.81% of its correlating factor. So it shows that XRP truly is almost perfectly inverted the dominance chart. We can also check in on like the 30-minute time frame. Check that out. That's 0.86%, almost perfectly down. The hourly chart looks like it's coming down even further, sitting at just about 0.73. I'm looking at the values right up here, right? So let's continue. What about the 8-hour time frame? So the 8-hour time frame does have a little less of inversion, but still inverted nonetheless. Okay, now this on the larger time frame is curious because this is still something that hasn't really rippled in from the smaller time frames. This is telling me that the larger time frames are still kind of delayed. So if that's the truth, then what's the true nature? Let's go to a weekly. There we go. So if they're really, in a monthly, these would typically be correcting downward, right? Or downside. So I'm thinking, guys, that for now, while the volatility is present for Bitcoin would have to reach a present resistance in order for XRP to kind of react for an upside. How is that going to happen? Well, I'm nervous over the upside on dominance. So I hate it that it has to be this ridiculous, right? But it is what it is. And I'll tell you what aspect it is from the dominance chart that I'm currently nervous about. So let me just go ahead and remind you guys that should you be reached by anybody that appears to be like Arca, do not talk to them. Do not react to them. This is not a disclaimer. This is not anything else other than a warning from me personally to you. Do not talk to anybody that appears to be Arca and reaches you first. I will never reach for you first. I will never friend request you or ask you for any of your XRP or transfer any type of asset or crypto to me. Never. All right, guys, I only have one account in Discord and YouTube and one account on Twitter X. You can find those links in the description below. All right. So let's go ahead and continue on with the analysis. Okay, number one, this is a really nice bull flag. I like the fact that it's present. I mean, for the Bitcoin bulls, that is, right? This could show that it can give you a massive target to the upside. Measured move on this bull flag here, 8-hour time frame, could be worth just about 59.69% Bitcoin dominance. If we match that over to some type of price action, let's see. This right here would show some pretty nice confluence right at that resistance point, which is about, let's see, August 10th, 2025. Okay, now there is also this. There appears to be an inverse head and shoulders on this. Should price action react to traditional rules, this would be false because it's built on an upside. Now, inverse head and shoulders would present a potential retrace or a reversal of price action. So in this case, it's being built during the upside. It's still there nonetheless, okay? So that would mean that people are kind of looking at, two different bullish plays. But we are also in a macro or a larger time frame bearish play. So that's my kind of my working thesis here, is that we probably don't have that much more of upside on BTC dominance because this may fake out. It may present a false breakout like this, like this, like this, and then have this thing capitulate. The second thing, should it be that we're within, this one's going to be a little tougher because this can be observed in so many ways, right? This could be observed as what could be, your ascending triangle, right? Or I'm sorry, your rising wedge. It could be observed in so many ways. It does have confluence and connecting dots when you look at it like this, right? It does, but it doesn't also because you could build a bull pennant out of these lows and these highs here. So there's a bit of a confusing factor happening within this chart, which now makes me want to just go inside of the XRP chart and observe this via the volatility and momentum. So at this point, guys, I think I've already identified a potential resistive area that could kind of fake out the bulls here for a little bit, right? And bring this thing down. Should it bring it down, that just means that Bitcoin could retrace or mean revert from its massive run. It's not bearish. It'll probably allow XRP to maybe reset with it and then continue to the upside. Because remember, we just saw that. We just saw that there are areas to where XRP is completely in concert with the XRP dominance chart. Like these. This was just on the 26th of August all the way to the last day of August. Check this out over here. This was just in May of 2025. So it does have massive correlating times. So this is really interesting for me to see, man, and for me to study. So let's go ahead and just get rid of this for now and take a look at volatility now against momentum to determine what could happen into the near time. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look at the closures first. All right. So XRP, number one, you do have a pretty nice, inverted hammer here. And it's at the bottom of a trend. All good. So should it be presenting anything? I guess it could be maybe in a larger time frame building some kind of a bull flag. So that means that we're going to chill here for a bit. We might need to close this candle into tomorrow's session. Tomorrow being, of course, guys, remember that I'm in Pacific time. Tomorrow being October 6th. So that it could still build the next bar. So otherwise, guys, this still is performing what we talked about before. This is a 3-day time frame, 50% prior bar retrace. You find this liquidity in here, and you pop. We've already popped a couple times, but that doesn't mean that we're done doing that, right? We still have other time frames that are relevant to closes. So this is your new weekly time frame candle. So your weekly time frame also has its own property for its 50% retrace. And it's currently sitting right where we bounced from, around that 295 area that we've been talking about so much. So this is pretty nice. Let's see momentum, how it's leading on this. Okay. So it's completely declining in volatility with a downside, meaning that there could be some weakness on that downside, on the downside strength. Okay, what else can we do? Let's go ahead and now take a look at any other macro times, right? So, oh yeah, we still have that monthly time frame. We are at the 50% of that prior monthly bar. The trick here is to break above the 302.41, ideally above the 307, and stay there. We need to stay there in order for us to continue. Closing basis daily candles. Now, I'm not talking about no hourly, no 4 hour, nothing like that. So let's do that. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take this thing all the way down to really granular time frames, and let's just gauge this from zero per se, because I want to be as accurate as I can be. This is not the easiest thing to measure here, especially on spot price action over a weekend. It's just it's really annoying. So the fact of the matter is that we have the S&P 500 E-mini futures contracts pushing to the upside. And it's leading towards new highs right now. Of course, it just retraced to the prior day's high. And these are it right here. There's still some danger. There's still some danger here. It could present a continuation. It could actually show us this here. So which means that crypto could catch up, meaning Bitcoin. So then altcoins would show their strength and presence in this decline here, because it seems that Bitcoin is running with the market too. So that's a good thing to notice. Let's go ahead and come back into here and continue that. So immediate short term, 1 minute time frame upside leading into your 2 minute time frame upside. Remember, volatility is your acceleration or deceleration. Should it face up, accelerating with the bias of upside, then that's it. All right, let's go to the 3 minute time frame. We have upside consideration here, 10 seconds to close and 6 seconds and counting, right? We still have that upside. Let's see, 3 minute time frame into the 4 upside continuation, 5 minute time frame still on that upside. 10 minute just opened that new bar and it's trying to break out its prior bar, of course. Tweezer bottom, bullish engulfing, good combination there. 15 minute time frame still showing that upside here, right? Starting to maybe balance out at that critical contraction level. 20 minute time frame would be the total upside that we can get from here. Closing in 7 minutes, total upside is leading us to the, let's see, 297.82. So we're just about topped there. So I'm going to say that if this does maintain this posturing here, that would also be the tweezer bottom here. And this could also shift towards the upside or kink. So I'm going to bet on that for now. 30 minute time frame, 17 minutes to close. This is still on the upward pivot, which is giving me the idea or the hint that the 20 minute time frame is likely to follow. Okay, that plus, let me see this. Yeah, that plus an inverse head and shoulders apparently there with a little bit of a wonky one, but we'll see. We'll see, right? We'll see. Higher low, that could present some danger here for the shorts. 30 minute time frame upside, cascading into the hourly time frame. 2 hours of upside is still present. 3 hours time frame still kinked for an upside continuation. Still kinked on the 4. Still kinked on the 6. The 8 hour time frame, this would be your total upside. Now, replacing the 20 minute that we looked at before. So let's look at our current ATR top. That's leading to a 303.44. So 303.44 is curious because we just mentioned staying above that target for at least a daily closure. So that's presently what I believe is about to happen. So if that is it, guys, then I'm not going to question the numbers. I'm just going to say that our area for resistance would be a statistical top of 303.44 or whatever that is to 305.87 right back at this level again, which would make sense because this is an area where we've kind of used for kind of, you know, for demand. So could it be that we're in a chop? Yeah, could be. So let's just go ahead and find out this, guys. I really want to make sure that we can break above those areas up there first. Let's get above these areas, close some major time frames to really make a difference here. But I do believe that we're in a local low. And this is likely to show some upside here pretty soon, which means that the S&P 500 futures contracts would show downside, and also that would be rejection on the chart for BTC, the Bitcoin dominance. So let's just go ahead and take a look at that and see if we have any resistance. All right, seems like the regression that we're drawing is proving somewhat true. Okay, and now the S&P 500 E-mini futures are, yeah, I guess they're kind of declining just a little bit. Pretty good. Let's just see this balance, guys. Let's see if we can get this. I know that it's a really small time frame. I know that we're kind of just hovering here within a small area, but these are the times that really do matter. Okay, guys, so I think, yeah, this is a pretty good place to leave off. If any questions or concerns, reach out to me at arcabulls@gmail.com, and everything will be good. All right, guys, so I'll talk to you, very, very scary Jerry Larry, later. All right, team. Peace. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Ever, 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 ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well. A very, very good rest of your night and or day. And I will catch you at the Bell Mañana. Adios, team.